Hello, hello, my amazing English learners. Welcome back to Hidden Pages. You are doing absolutely wonderfully. You know the simple present, simple past, simple future, present continuous, future with be going to, past continuous, future continuous, present perfect, past perfect, present perfect continuous, and future perfect tense. That's incredible progress. Now, for our final tense in the 12 main tenses, we're going to learn how to talk about an action that was ongoing in the past and continued up to another specific point in the past. For example, I had been studying for 2 hours before you called. The calling, simple past, happened, but the studying, past perfect continuous, was ongoing before that call for a period of time. Today's lesson is super important. We're going to learn about the past perfect continuous tense. What is the past perfect continuous tense? It's the English grammar rule we use to talk about an ongoing action that started in the past and continued up to another point in the past, emphasizing duration. It shows that one continuous action was happening for some time before another specific past event. Like, he had been waiting for an hour when the bus finally arrived. The cause of something in the past. Like, her eyes were red because she had been crying. Don't worry, we will learn the past perfect continuous tense in super easy English with many clear examples. You will learn how to make positive sentences, I had been eating, negative sentences, I had not been eating. Questions, had you been eating? Are you ready to truly master all 12 English tenses and tell incredibly detailed stories? Let's dive in. Past perfect continuous tense. What had you been doing? English Grammar B2. What is the past perfect continuous tense? Your longer past before shorter past tense. The past perfect continuous tense describes an action that was in progress for a period of time in the past, leading up to another specific action or point in time in the past. It highlights the duration of an activity before a specific past event. It is always used with another action or time reference in the simple past tense. Think of it like this timeline. Action started here, in past, ongoing for duration. Action 2, simple past. Now it's common for emphasizing duration before a past event. I had been studying for 2 hours before you called. First, I was studying for 2 hours. Then you called. She had been working at the company for 10 years when she retired. First, she worked for 10 years. Then she retired. Explaining the cause of a past situation. He was tired because he had been running all morning. Running happened continuously before he felt tired. The ground was wet because it had been raining. The rain was continuous before the ground got wet. Important difference. Past continuous versus past perfect continuous. Past continuous. Action was in progress at a specific time in the past, or interrupted by another action. Focus is on the moment. I was studying when you called. At the moment you called, I was studying. Past perfect continuous. Action was in progress for a duration leading up to a specific time in the past. Focus is on the duration before the second past event. I had been studying for 2 hours before you called. Emphasizes the 2-hour duration before the call. Let's learn how to make sentences in the past perfect continuous tense. Part 1. Positive sentences. Saying what had been happening. This is how you say what people had been doing, emphasizing the ongoing nature before a past event. Rule. Subject plus had been plus verbing. This is easy. Had been is the same for all subjects. I, you, he, she, it, we, they. Remember the ing form of the verb. I had been waiting for you for 30 minutes when you finally arrived. You had been learning English for a year before you moved abroad. He had been working hard all day when his boss called him. She had been sleeping for hours when the alarm rang. It had been raining all night when we woke up. We had been watching that show for hours when the power went out. They had been playing outside for a long time when their mom called them in. Many common verb examples, positive sentences. Study. I had been studying for 2 hours before the exam started. Wait. He had been waiting for 30 minutes when his train arrived. Work. She had been working at that company for 5 years when she got promoted. Live. They had been living in Paris for 2 years before they moved to Rome. Read. You had been reading that book for a long time before you finished it. Rain. It had been raining all morning when the sun finally came out. Cook. My mom had been cooking for hours before dinner was ready. Play. The children had been playing quietly when their dad came home. Practice tip for positive sentences. Think of 2 past actions. For the action that was ongoing before the second one, use past perfect continuous. I had been exercising for an hour before I felt tired. They had been traveling all day when they finally reached the hotel. Part 2. Negative sentences, saying what had not been happening. This is how you say what people had not been doing or what had not been happening continuously before a past event. We just add not after had. Rule. Subject. Plus had not. Plus been plus. Verbing contraction, short form. Had not. Hadn't I had not. Hadn't been waiting long when the taxi arrived. He hadn't been working much before he was fired. She hadn't been sleeping well before she decided to see a doctor. It hadn't been raining for weeks, so the ground was very dry when the fire started. You hadn't been learning anything new before you changed schools. Many common verb examples, negative sentences. Study. I hadn't been studying enough before the test. That's why I failed. Wait. He hadn't been waiting long when I showed up. Work. She hadn't been working on that particular task when the manager asked about it. Feel. I hadn't been feeling well for a few days before I went to the hospital. Practice tip for negative sentences. Think of a past situation. What hadn't been happening continuously before that? They hadn't been practicing regularly, so they lost the game. Part 3. Questions. Asking about ongoing past actions leading up to a point. This is how you ask if something had been happening continuously before another past event. We put had at the beginning of the question before the subject. Rule. Had plus subject plus been plus verb-ing? Had I been talking for too long when you interrupted me? Had you been studying English for a long time before you moved to the UK? Had he been working here since last year when he got promoted? Had she been crying before you saw her red eyes? Had it been raining all day when the flood started? Had we been waiting long when the train arrived? Had they been playing for hours when their parents arrived? Connecting to question words. You can also add question words at the beginning. How long had you been studying before you took the exam? What had you been doing before I called? Why had he been looking so tired that morning? Where had they been living before they bought their new house? Many common verb examples, questions. Study. Had you been studying hard before the exam? Wait. How long had he been waiting for her? Work. Had she been working on that all night? Live. How long had they been living in that house when they decided to sell it? Practice tip for questions. Ask about the duration of past continuous activities before a specific point. Had you been sleeping when the alarm went off? How long had they been building the house when the fire started? Part 4. Time words. Keywords for past perfect continuous tense. These words are essential to highlight the duration and the two-part past connection. 4. To indicate the length of time. I had been studying for 2 hours before you called. Since, to indicate the starting point of the action. He had been waiting since 3 p.m. when the plane finally landed. All, day, morning, week, year. To indicate the entire period leading up to the past event. It had been raining all morning when we decided to go inside. She had been traveling all week when she finally got home. Before, another past action, time. Shows the continuous action happened prior to this. They had been hiking for hours before they found the trail. When another past action, similar to before, shows the point of interruption, completion. When I arrived, he had been talking on the phone for 20 minutes. Practice tip for time. Words. Combine a continuous past action with a specific past event using for or since and when or before. She had been practicing the piano for 3 hours when her teacher arrived. Final, super important advice for learning past. Perfect continuous tense, remember, had been plus minus ing. This is the consistent structure for all subjects. Always. 2 past actions, points. This tense nearly always needs another past action, usually simple past, to show what had happened before. Focus on duration. Leading up, it's about how long something was happening before that second past event. Use for and since. These are very common for showing the duration. Practice your storytelling. This tense is perfect for advanced narratives where you need to clarify the exact sequence and duration of past events. Listen and imitate. Pay close attention to how native speakers use this tense in more complex stories. Be patient. This is one of the more advanced tenses, but mastering it significantly improves your storytelling ability. You are doing amazing. The past perfect continuous tense is a powerful tool for explaining detailed sequences of ongoing activities in the past. Congratulations on reaching the last of the 12 core tenses. Keep practicing, and you will master it. You did it. You have now mastered the past perfect continuous tense. You learned when to use it for actions that were ongoing in the past and continued up to another past point, emphasizing duration. How to make positive sentences. Using had been plus verbing. How to make negative sentences. Using hadn't been plus verbing. How to ask questions. Using had at the beginning. And crucial time words like for, since, all morning, day, before, when. This tense is truly essential for telling clear, complex stories, explaining causes of past situations, and showing the precise duration of past actions in English. It adds remarkable depth and sophistication to your communication. Congratulations! You have now learned all 12 of the main English tenses. This is a huge achievement. Remember to practice making sentences in the past perfect continuous tense every day. Think about what you had been doing before specific events in your past, and use this tense to explain the duration. If this guide to the past perfect continuous tense was helpful for you, please click the like button. Share this video with your friends who also want to improve their English grammar, and please subscribe to Hidden Pages for more helpful English lessons. Don't forget to click the bell so you don't miss our next video. Keep speaking, keep learning, and keep building your amazing English skills. You are wonderful. See you next time.